Hello everybody, it is I, the Ranter Daily, and today's rant, you cannot see my eyes properly because I have my laptop in front of me. So, today's daily rant is, it's just one of those things where I don't understand an agreement, one-sided agreement, something I don't understand. One, because they are one-sided, like, why force someone to conform to your agreement and then put them at fault? It's not something you really should do, to be fair. A random example being, say, I had an agreement with my girlfriend, pretty much saying to her, either you give me £1 a week, or I'm breaking up with you, and that's the agreement. Then why should she have to conform to that when I'm clearly the one in the wrong for forcing her to do that when there's no wavering that agreement? Obviously, I wouldn't do that. That is really fucked up. But that's the thing with agreements, is sometimes you feel like people can feel like that's the only option and that it's a really good deal, when in reality it's really not. People can word things so it sounds like a lot, but then it's not. It's like if I told you I'd give you £1 or 100 pennies, you might pick 100 pennies because it sounds more, but in reality 100 pennies is just £1. It's just one of those things that sometimes you don't have time to think before you act upon an agreement. That's one of the reasons this channel was made, was because I made an agreement and it stopped me from recording my other channel. One decision that I heavily regret making, but it's something that will benefit me. But then you've got agreements that you can think about, like a contract, or where you're going to work, because obviously there's a working agreement. Those are things you can think about. It's things that you have time for. It's things that it's not a once in a lifetime opportunity. Once in a lifetime opportunities come around, and sometimes you feel like you have to take these opportunities, because when else are you going to do it? But if you think about it, then in all reality, if you really wanted this opportunity, it's not once in a lifetime, not all of the time. Meeting the Queen, yeah, maybe that's once in a lifetime. Meeting the President, maybe once in a lifetime, yeah. But I'm not talking about those sorts of things. Once in a lifetime opportunities like a job, a girl, a boy, a person of indiscriminate gender. Some things that people think is only going to ever happen once in their life, in reality can happen whenever. There is no sort of expiry date, so to speak, on opportunities in life. You have quite literally your whole life to decide what you want to do with your life. But there's times where you can genuinely feel like there is no other option. And that's hard. It's hard to not know what to do. It's hard to not have any other options. But you don't think about it unless... I kind of drifted off there. I don't even know what I said. That's an issue. But sometimes there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to an agreement. And sometimes people focus so much on that agreement that they don't realise they're hurting people they care about. I have personal experience with this, which I'm not going to speak about because it's not my place to say it, because the people involved I do care about a lot. And I'm not going to let something like this, split up my family. It's just not something I would do. Sorry, I'm also like working on something on my laptop at the moment, so because I do these rants just when I feel like it. I randomly do a rant, which can be kind of annoying, because it's like, well, what aren't you going to be focused as a professional and focus on the views? But then again, it's when these rants come over, it's when I decide to record it, because I can't plan a rant. It has to come about naturally. I have to have that emotion to do it, and it doesn't always come around that often. It's about once a day, which is why I'm currently in the Rant Daily. Nostalgia is a thing that exists in the world, and I don't really understand it because it's you have this nostalgia when you look at something or when you see something, but then when you go to actually do that thing because you think it'll make you feel happier, then it doesn't. And why? Why is nostalgia a good thing when it just makes you realize that sometimes some of the things that you love the most were shit? I've literally got like McDonald's toys on my shelf because I just remember how good they are. I was nostalgic of how good McDonald's toys used to be. They had burgers that transformed into dinosaurs at one point as a McDonald's toy. Now they got this shit, which is like just a troll doll. Like they used to have these little MP3 players, right? And you put like this little disc in, and obviously it didn't play different ones depending on what disc it is. It was always the same, like depending on what bass you had. But like I had one that did Crazy Frog, and it only played like a little bit, but it was still great. I enjoyed it. How do I zip a folder? I'm still figuring things out, guys. Leave me alone. How do I zip up a folder? I will figure it out eventually. Another thing is just technology in general. We have like such great uses for it. I'm using my phone and my laptop at the same time as watching How I Met Your Mother on Netflix. On an Amazon Fire TV stick, and if you're wondering what I was doing on my phone beforehand, I was looking at research materials for the very important work that I am doing. What's anti-micro? Oh well. It's like life is like a packet of Revels. You know, sometimes you can get the really nice chocolatey ones or the other ones that ain't coffee, unless you like coffee, because and then there's times where you pick up a bit of one of these Revels, look at it, and it looks like a nice bit of chocolate. On the surface it looks nice. It brings a fond memory. It brings a sense of nostalgia, so to speak. And you pop it in your mouth, take a bite, and it tastes like absolute shit. Or someone played a trick on me. Gave me a donut full of custard donuts full of mayonnaise, and another time the same person gave me a bar of chocolate. It was actually Marmite chocolate. Very, very disgusting things were given to me. I was very sad. Get access to... I sent it to a fax machine. What? I'm still very confused, honestly. I'll figure out how to make a zip file eventually. Properties, can I make it? Oh, anyway, I've got more important work to do, and this rant wasn't as long as I thought. They're not always going to be like 10, 20-minute rants. Sometimes they're only going to be small ones. This is one of those times. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daily Rant.